Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Next
Next
Voice.
Voice. Welcome if this is your first video, and welcome back if you've watched some of our videos before. We've been making these videos for over a year now on public speaking skills, communication skills, and even leadership skills to improve our brand and improve the way we show up at work and with other people. This is what Next Voice was built on.
Yeah, so it's the job season now. So we thought, why don't we share with you, all our audience, some tips on how you can build your brand? We had shared it with you before, but we will summarize it. How you can perform in an interview, what tips and tricks you can learn to appear confident in an interview. And then once you get a job, hopefully, which you will, how you can build a relationship with your colleagues on your first day looking more confident.
We've created many videos over this last year. We recommend go back and watch as many of them as you can, longer form videos and many shorts as well on YouTube and now also on TikTok. Watch them, learn the skills around communication, how to show up more effectively, build deeper relationships. And as Akhil has said, increase your chances of building that dream job, that dream career, or starting that business that you want. And this is the point now. This is a 3-part series where we want to share with you some key tips to find your next step in your career.
So, Nick, when you were looking for a job, I was never good at making my CVs. I didn't even know how to start making a CV. Do you remember some of the mistakes, what you did, what we can share with our people, the young people of today, how to avoid them? Any ideas?
One of the most important learnings I've had is about personal brand, how all of us individually are a brand.
Uh-huh.
And we don't need to be a Nike or a Pepsi or a huge known brand in the world, but we are a brand ourselves. And by creating our brand through investing in our personal development, investing in our communication skills and improving our relationships, that builds how people perceive us and how we show up. And I wish I had done that or known about that many years ago when I was applying for my first job out of university. I found it very difficult because all I was focusing on was writing impressive words on a piece of paper, my CV. But I never worked on my personal development. I never worked on my key skills, such as the most important one, hence why we created this channel, my communication skills. I never developed them. So that was the biggest mistake I made and what I would do differently now.
I think it's a very important point, Nick, what you're mentioning. Most of the young people, when they graduate from university, they think if they have a good CV, that will be sufficient. But we know from experience, right? Companies or individuals, they are looking to work with people who make an impact. And that is what I mean. You are saying create a brand, right? So maybe can you give some tips on how the young people of today, who are fresh out of the university, how they can build their brand? Maybe top 3 tips.
The most important tip I would say is getting clear on who you are, getting clear on your values, what's important to you, and your ambitions and goals. That might be one key goal, or it could be 2 or 3 different goals, but getting clear on who you are, your values and identity, the direction you want to go in towards those 1 to 3 clear goals. And that creates who you are and therefore your brand. Once you're clear on who you are, your values, and the direction you want to go, everything else becomes a lot clearer. From writing your CV, from asking certain types of questions, from having conversations, from how you interview, all the work you do, all the content you make will all go towards the direction you're heading based on who you are and the values you have.
Okay. So if I'm a fresh graduate, I get a job opportunity. I look, there's an advertisement for a job where I think I'm the right fit. So most of the people, what they do is they just type in their CVs and send it to the email. I think one of the things which I learned works very well is rather than maybe sharing your CV, maybe try to create a small video of yours, putting yourself out as a brand, what you were saying.
Yes.
And maybe share that with your CV. So obviously you need to share it. but maybe as a cover letter or something, you can share a small video clip of yours explaining who you are, what really you are looking for, right? Do you
I, th-
think
I
that's a
think
practical tip?
I think it's a wonderful tip to become comfortable showing up. Part of building your brand is obviously showing up in person, most importantly, but also now, especially in today's age, showing up online, showing your personality, showing those values, showing who you are, and telling the world what you're working towards and what you want. That all forms your brand. And creating that in a video, like you said, is an extremely powerful and impactful way to stand out. Instead of just writing a CV, create a video,
Mm-hmm.
tell a story, a
Mm-hmm.
personal story about you, about who you are, sharing one or two of your values, sharing one or two of your inspirations, sharing one or two of your dreams and ambitions or goals. That will help you stand out and become personable. It will show your brand. It will show who you are. And that for job hirers, companies, interviewers, or if you're starting a company at some stage now or in the future, what investors will look for is they want to know about you first and then product second. So yes, building a video, a 1-minute video to send to hiring managers or to send to anyone that's interested in working with you is a really powerful and effective tip for
Yeah.
sure.
I think another point, Nick, what you mentioned is, which is very helpful probably nowadays, because there is a lot of AI search happens before your CV gets selected. And that kind of crawling happens on the social network, right? So one point which you mentioned is be active on social networks, whether you like it or not. But I think that's a very important point, that you transmit your personality, especially on specific websites which are targeted by recruiters. For example, LinkedIn is one of those where I believe companies, they search the profile of the person and they try to make a identity profile of that person through AI or whatever, right? That what type of a person it is, whether it will fit in the work culture or not.
Yes.
Do you
And
think that happens?
I think it is, and it's happening more and more. It's becoming more competitive because of AI, and AI can be a benefit, but it can also be a detriment
Mm,
if we are just using it for everything. It can be helpful, but then everyone else is also using it as well. So it becomes, if we're going to use AI, is about the quality of questions we ask is the differentiator.
uh-huh.
That's key, the quality of questions we ask. But then separately to AI, there's never, in my opinion, been a more important time to build in-person relationships or show up online through using your video, using your voice, showing who you are, which AI cannot recreate who you are by creating the video content, how you show up in the real world, how you build relationships. And if you can work on those skills, which again is a huge part of why we created Next Voice, to share these
Hmm.
skills, to work on them, you will stand out from the large majority of the rest of the people who will increasingly want to use AI for everything. So it's incredibly important to use AI for your benefit, but to really work on your communication skills and your relationships.
Yeah. So great, Nick. If I just try to summarize, I think the three most important tips will be is one, build your brand, and you can do that once you know who you are, where you want to go. Project that out to the world, whether it's in your CV, on social networks. Number two, don't send a plain CV. Try to see if you can build a small video of yours targeting that particular job. Share that with your CV. Number three, be active on social networks. Project your identity. I think it is relevant whether you like it or not, because as Nick mentioned, a lot of AI tools are being used by the recruiters. And what they do is they try to create an identity profile of every person before they get hired. So wonderful tips, Nick.
Thank you,
Thanks
Akhil,
for
for sharing.
sharing.
And one other tip I would add on to that or to
Mhm.
extend is don't be afraid to ask people for their time or their advice or their
Yes.
support. Most successful people, as we see them, love to be asked for their advice. They love to share some of their time to help the younger generation. You'll be shocked. That was one of my mistakes. I assumed that I didn't want to waste anyone's time or interrupt people. And then I learned people love people I inspired to be, they love to share their wisdom, tips, failures, mistakes, and strategies. So I think reaching out to people, whether that's just one person a week or even one person a month, to ask them for a tip, to ask them for some advice, or even better, ask them if they have half an hour for a coffee call in person or online, because that will be a real differentiator to have real conversations with people that you aspire to be.
I'm glad, Nick, you mentioned. We will be more than happy to listen to your comments and share our experiences if we can help in any way. So thank you very much for watching this video. And we really appreciate each and every subscriber we have on Next Voice. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Be back soon.